Tremendous. Great start.
Welcome everybody to the inaugural episode of One Good Scare, where we talk all the latest horror news and trailers and all that. New channel, Peter. This is exciting, isn't it?
Exciting. A little bit nervous. Don't know why.
Even though we've done this more than 100 times at this stage, I always get a little bit like, ooh, you know. But yeah, that's it. Well, that's good, isn't it? We're on edge for the horror show, so yeah, that's a good one. How are you?
I'm not bad. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to this all day, just to get stuck into it and talk a little bit spookiness. Oh, I've gone all blurry. I'm back to go all spookiness and all ghosts and goblins and monsters and horror and shit like that. So yeah, gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody, this is One Good Scare. So maybe do a little rundown of what the channel kind of is, and what we wanted to be kind of going forward. So this is the main show, One Good Scare. This is going to be every second Friday. So we'll be talking kind of the newest trailers, news, any kind of movies we've seen in the cinema. Maybe have the odd topic here and there, you know, favorite of this, favorite kill, stuff like that. And then we're going to have on the Fridays we don't have the live show. We're going to have I'll Be Right Back, which is not live. It's a kind of video series, like a retrospective on like classic horror movies, good and bad. And then we'll have little odd things kind of throughout the week as well, you know.
Oddballs, right? Yeah.
Oddball, definitely. I mean, with us two, of course, it is absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So before we move on, we'll have a look at who's joined us for a scary time.
Yes. Let's see who we've got. So as ever, we've got good old StreamYard. Thank you for joining. We've got. Oh, that was good. I like that. We'll have to do that next time.
We're changing the tune tonight.
Yeah, we'll change it. Yeah. We've got good old Fuzzy of the Dunlop. Fuzzy was here, I think, about 12 o'clock today with this. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Very cool. Good luck, boys. Thank you very much. Like absolutely.
Yeah. I think he's wanted to be first in with a live comment on the channel.
He definitely did. Yeah. He's always here to support. He's a top guy. Passpoint Comics, always nice to see Efren, you might not cope with this show, mate. You might, not sleep. If you guys scare the bejesus out of me, I'm out. Absolutely.
We have 6 placed jump scares throughout the show, so keep on edge for that.
Dead Man, I've heard these two are pretty good. No, mate, you're on the wrong channel. That's not us. That's definitely not. And we've got Fuzzy saying he's feeling fair to middle. Oh, that's not bad.
No, I think he's calling us fair to middling.
Oh, I see. He's not wrong.
You're not wrong, exactly.
He's not wrong. Yeah. We've got Chris Bell. Greetings to one and all. We are guaranteed one scare at least. James, internet connection.
Jinx it, okay? It's running smooth as butter. I had it updating all day. I have a backup laptop just in case this goes awry. So fingers crossed.
Let's have a look. See, we've got lots of chat going, which is fantastic. Oh, we've got Jack. Thank you very much for joining, Jack. Always nice to see you, my friend. Fuzzy's asking if we've had a power cut. It's atmospheric, mate, man. Ooh, stuff like that. Next. Look at how white my face is. It's terrifying, that. Yeah. We've got Andy.
I thought you were in your Babadook cosplay.
Oh, yeah. You cheeky bastard. We've got Andy. Actually, I could wear my Babadook costume.
Someday. Halloween. We'll do a Halloween special. We'll dress up. Yeah.
Andy saying, did someone forget to put 50 pence in the meter? Absolutely, bud. Chris knows. Look, the lighting. It's a horror show and the lights are below the faces. Oh. Torches. We've got little torches. Black and white. That's my face again, isn't it? James is even whispering spookily. Yeah. Andy, is there a horror comment segment? There's not, but I can make it up on the spot. Don't worry about that. We've got 6-scale Padawan. That's something to add for next time, actually. Nice of you to join with my friend. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
12 people watching, which, guys, thank you so much. That's amazing. Yeah, just starting off.
Absolutely fantastic. I can't get over Mr. San Diego using the word bejesus. Absolutely. We introduced him to mushy peas and spotted dick. He's practically English now, Fuzzy, And we've got Australia dialing in. Nice to see you, mad Spidey. Hope you are well, my friend. Thank you very much for joining and supporting. So yeah, as James says, 12 people in the chat. That is fantastic for our first live stream. So I really do appreciate that, guys. Right, James, what else we've got coming?
We're on to the news now. So first up, Friday the 13th, Blumhouse, producers of pretty much every horror movie out there at the moment, is interested in the rights to the Friday the 13th movies. I'm a huge Jason fan. Love Friday the 13th. I like even the remake about 12, 13 years ago. Absolutely loved it. So I know the rights have been kind of muddled for the last few years. You know, you had the video game came out and then had to like cease adding new content because of that, and like I think it's sorted now. So I'd absolutely be geared to see Jason on the big screen again.
Yeah. So Jason, and we're going to touch on another one in this in a minute. I think Jason has been around for so long. I have to say, I'm completely lost off with where he is and what. I think the last one I watched was Mad, and he was on a spaceship and he had like a silver mask.
That's
Ford
Jason
him
X.
out.
Yeah.
That was rough, mate. So I think I'd like a restart. Do you know what I mean? I think I'd probably like a reboot from Blumhouse, if I'm honest.
Well, I think that where the remake ended, like Zombie Jason, so you could start there. I actually think kind of the opposite of how they handle Halloween. Just continue from where it left off, like embrace the kind of supernatural hokiness of it. Like I want full on zombie Jason. That's how I'd like to see it. I don't want them to kind of erase all the other movies. Like let's keep them going.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We've got a few comments about your mic. Can you turn your volume up a little bit? Can we dial you up slightly? Yeah, you're a little bit.
Yes, I can.
You're a little bit quietly.
That's appropriate.
People want to hear those kind of booming Irish tones.
Hello there.
It's like being on with Terry Wogan. It's tremendous.
Is that better? That better?
Let one know in the chat if that's better from Jason.
Am Jason now?
Who's Jason? you be yeah. I would go and see this. I have to say it would be interesting. But like I say, I don't want it to be connected to 20 years or whatever it is of continuity. Just give us something new,
right?
You know.
Okay. No, that's absolutely fair. Yeah.
And we've got a few people. Sorry, mate. We've got a few people in the comments saying they'd be really up for this. Saying it's about time we had a new film. So there's a lot of positivity.
Same thing with Freddy. Like this is like one of the tentpole horror franchises, and we haven't had one in years. You know, so like I think we absolutely it's long overdue. I think so. Yeah, I'd be good to see it. But from one classic horror film franchise to another. There is a bidding war going on at the moment for the Halloween TV rights. So currently it's A24, who did like Hereditary, The Witch, Talk to Me, are currently in the lead to own that. But Miramax is the other company. So they I think own the movie rights or half the movie rights or something like that. But they want the TV rights. Where do you think Halloween should go next? Because you had like Halloween Ends. Spoiler alert, he gets thrown in a blender in like a wood chipper at the end of it. He's just mush. So like, what do you do next? Do you think do a remake of the original, just do another Michael movie and don't acknowledge it? Do you pick up from, because like Halloween's a bit of a, like a multiverse situation there. Do you pick up from where one of the other movies left off?
No, again, too much continuity, too much convoluted kind of backstory to it. You know what? And again, I know a lot of people might disagree. I really enjoyed the last three movies. The last one, the third one, I think jumped the gun a little bit. I really liked the second one in terms of how if you remember at the end of it, they kind of painted him as being almost a supernatural thing. There was this whole narrative about, you can't kill evil kind of thing. And he got back up from the horrific beasting. And then the next movie, they just seemed to completely ignore any of that had happened. Yeah. And he was living in a sewer eating bloody rats or whatever.
Yeah.
And, it was like an arthritic old man when he was fighting and stuff. So I was disappointed with that. But I thought that kind of, if they were going to continue on Halloween in that universe, they should have committed to letting the other guy kind of take the mantle on.
Absolutely. 100%. Corey, I think was his name.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
He even had that scarecrow mask. Like if you had committed to that, he's a scarecrow kind of killer. Or even just have him in the Michael mask, I think people would have accepted that. Yeah, that was such a wasted opportunity. And I think that they were really saying this is it done. But obviously it's not done because it's a valuable franchise.
I mean, for me, and I'm pretty sure you'll have seen some of it, James, because I know you're a massive Scream fan. They did a Scream TV series on Netflix, I think it was.
MTV, I think, made it. It was on
MTV?
Netflix, though. It came to Netflix, MTV.
That was great. Same kind of storyline, but different enough to be interesting. Do you know what I mean? So I would do something like that with Halloween. I would stick with the original characters, but just reinvent it for TV. Keep the similar themes, I guess.
I think the Scream show just didn't acknowledge the movies at all. Like it was just, here's a ghost face. I would have no problem with them just not acknowledging it. Like it's almost like what they do with like Spider-Man, here's another Michael movie.
Yeah.
We don't even need to talk about Laurie Strode or,
Yeah.
or any of that. One of my favorite sequences in the entire series is the beginning of Kills, like the 1970s style scene.
Yeah.
So like a 70s set, John Carpenter-esque like Halloween TV show, 6 episodes, 8 episodes. Like I'd be absolutely geared for that. But
I think that would be tremendous. I would look forward to that. Just jump to before we move on, just to jump to the chat, James, because we've got tons of comments flying in here. It's great. Andy, James T looks like the boss man on the logo. Absolutely. I think the proper term is a bear. I think is that what you are there, James? A bear?
I'm a bear.
A bear. I
always thought of myself as an otter.
Can we just say as well, whilst we're talking about the logo, that was done by our friend Kevin Wells, who is a stunning artist, and we were
just blown away,
ecstatic with that.
Incredible. Yeah. Like we kind of pitched like flashlights, Scooby-Doo-esque thing, and he comes back with this, and I was like, wow, really, incredible. Yeah,
and a little bit of a spoiler. Me and James are going to For the Love of Horror, and we're most probably going to kind of try and recreate that image with some costumes. So it's going to be fun. Fuzzy saying James is on the left in the image, so he's definitely the gaffer. Absolutely. GP is saying about time we got a new Friday the 13th. Yeah, absolutely, totally agree, GP. We've got Connie here. Thank you very much for joining, Connie. Always nice to see you. Jack is saying he loved the remake and don't get what's so bad with it. I think he's talking about Friday the 13th. Yeah,
I want to cover that on I'll Be Right Back at some point, because I love that movie, and I think like it is just the perfect condensing of the franchise into one film, so like I'd be geared to talk about that one. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack's also saying Jason X is a classic.
Best kill in the franchise is in there. I think
is it though?
Yeah,
is it a
classic?
What's the best kill in the franchise?
They're all bad. When he dips her head in the the freeze stuff,
the nitrogen, liquid nitrogen. Yeah. Very cool. Sean's agreeing. He loves Jason X. I might have to go back and rewatch it. Jason and Mike Myers can both do one. I've no interest in either character after so many cack films.
That's a bit harsh.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all bad. That's the thing. Don't watch them, Fuzzy.
I mean, a remake would be interesting. I think I'd give it a go, Fuzzy. I would give it a go. Chris is saying, I feel like you're trying to seduce me, James.
Am I still low volume? Am I whispering?
Don't think so. Nobody. No. Somebody in the comments now, let me know if James is still low. Yeah. Andy, when will One Good Scare? Yeah, when will One Good Scare merch be available? We haven't talked about that bud yet, but yeah, we could do. Sean hated Halloween Ends.
So I liked that it did something different. I think it's in the wrong place in that series. Like, again, Connie's hated it as well. I think if you flipped it, where it ends, like the middle movie be the one where you have a new guy and it's doing something unique and different, and then have the last movie just be the bloodbath, like Michael on a killing spree. Yeah. I think that would have been the better way to have done it. So if you just chop the first and last 10 minutes off of each and flip them, I think you would have had a great trilogy. I still love them though.
I still don't understand why the worst out of the last movie in terms of continuing on with the Corey character, because it felt like that's exactly where they were leaning to.
Yeah.
And, for Michael to come back would be ridiculous because he was literally thrown in a wood chipper. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but fucking how many horror franchises how many times does Jason die and he comes back in the next one? Michael's died a few times and has come back, as we see on screen here, in various different kind of continuities, has returned from the dead. So, I believe it.
Jack saying he loved the Scream TV series. Good, it only did 2 seasons, then they rebooted it and it was shit. I haven't seen the reboot. I just remember I watched the first season. I think I watched the second one.
Well, the first 2 are like a different mask, and the third one is the actual Ghostface mask.
Right. I've not seen the third one. Yeah. Andy subscribed. Wow, thank you very much, Andy. We are honored.
He just did it to threaten to unsubscribe.
Yeah, he'll be unsubscribed by the end of the day. And the sound is fine. Good stuff. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Before we move on though, one of the ideas floated around for this, and I think Marikakad, I think is his name, the guy who owns the rights, has been shopping them around, is he wants like a continuation of like some sort of follow up to Season of the Witch. Have you ever seen Halloween 3 Season of the Witch?
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Long time.
I mean, I'm wearing the t-shirt now, the Silver Shamrocks one. I adore this movie. I was like, I know it's terrible. Like I don't know if it's terrible, but it's so hokey.
Now
it's weird.
Let us get it right in me head then, because I'm very old, James, right. And I forget because it's a long time. Is Season of the Witch the one where they put the masks on and then the masks kind of suck into the faces and
Yes.
maggots and shit come
Yes,
out?
yes.
Yeah.
That's that one.
I thought that was number 2 for some reason. Yeah.
No, so they did. Yeah. So originally Halloween was going to be an anthology series. So the second movie was supposed to be a different thing, and the third one, and then you do spin-offs, kind of sequels after that. But after they did, like, John Carpenter was roped around into like writing a sequel with Michael, and then they said, okay, now we'll start with the third one, the anthology, and then people just love Michael Myers so much that the people didn't like this one. But I like that people have grown to kind of appreciate it over time. I really love it. So like, yeah, I would be geared. I think even modern day, like you make that like instead of a TV commercial, it's like a viral ad or something.
Yeah,
there's a clever kind of twist you could put on that. So like, get Tom Atkins back while you can. You know, I think it'd be really cool.
Connie's asking if number 2 is the hospital one.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah. Good stuff. We've got 14 people watching, which is friggin' amazing. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you
It just shows
so
you
much.
know, horror and people support us, but also like spookiness. I love talking about this stuff. We don't get to do it enough, so here we are. So Halloween 45. This is kind of the it's every 5 years they hold this like a Halloween kind of convention to celebrate the franchise. So it was just there on October 1st. Now we were talking about I threw you through the slides just before we started being here, and what was your reaction to seeing this?
Bullshit. That's what this is. This is bullshit. And I tell you why. Because I remember Halloween H2O with Jamie Lee Curtis. I remember going to the pictures, and that was just last year or something. That wasn't 25 years ago, surely to God.
Well, it was 25 years ago.
It can't be. It can't be. I refuse to acknowledge and admit that.
Halloween, some people call Halloween 2018 Halloween H40 because it's 40 years later. 1998 H2O came out. So yeah, crazy, isn't it? But yeah, I watched a few like YouTube videos of people going around. It's kind of just unfortunate that it's so kind of would be such a hard thing for us to go to. I didn't even know it was on until I'd seen videos of it. But it looked awesome. There was tons of the actors there doing signings. Exclusive merch. Looks like some really cool posters and t-shirts. But speaking of like exclusives, there was one particular thing that showed up on the topic of Halloween 3. A Dr. Chalice, NECA did like one of 1,000. So there's 1,000 Dr. Chalice clothes retro figures at it. And have you ever like had a few too many, Peter, and you get home and eBay, you pop eBay open and you bid on a few?
Absolutely.
You throw out like an absurd bid. I don't believe you. I think you definitely have. Yeah, I bid like $300 on this.
$300 for that?
Not signed. I don't know why. I just saw it and I was like, I want that, and I like just bid the next one bid increment up from where it was. And,
James, it's dog shit.
Yeah, I know, and it wasn't even signed. Like, cause Tom, I said his name 2 seconds. Tom Atkins was there, and he was signing them, but this one wasn't signed. So like, yeah, it was just the figure, and I was like, yeah, 300. I luckily got outbid. In the morning. I was so worried. I was like, I really hope I don't win that.
How much did you bid for it?
$305, I think. And
$305.
The winning bid was 310. So like, I got away with it by the skin of my teeth. Thank God.
On a bike.
But yeah. I mean, I would have been. I mean, it's cool.
It's not.
I think even if this was 60 quid in Forbidden Planet, I probably wouldn't buy it. It was only I got like a bit of FOMO there of like, ooh, 1 in 1,000. I'll pick that up. But yeah,
yeah, it is.
He's dressed. Swap the colors. He's dressed a bit like him. But,
wow, that is. Yeah. I wish you hadn't. I wish you had won the bid. Just for shits and giggles. That would have been hilarious.
I'm sure. Yeah. Like never. Yeah, never pop eBay open after a few scoops. I think it'd be my recommendation. Sure. He is in The Fog. Yeah, Tom Atkins is one of the main characters.
I like that. I do like The Fog, mate. That's a good movie.
I love The Fog. Yeah,
the original.
Yeah, the remake is dog shit. That'd be a good one to talk about someday as well, I think.
Yeah.
So moving on. So there was New York Toy Fair last weekend as well. So the same weekend as the Halloween thing, and there was a few kind of figure announcements. So NECA is doing Krampus line of figures. I think this would be really cool to get and just take out at Christmas, like throw them around your Christmas tree or like around the house. When you've got
grandkids or kids, yeah, that'd be lovely. Yeah.
Well, I don't have the luxury.
There's
of
Santa. There's Santa.
But like, I don't know, festive horror stuff. I think that's kind of cool. So like, I'm tempted to see what the price point is. Like, there's a few different kind of. I saw that movie in the cinema and I loved it. And I haven't seen it since. I forgot he had like little creepy buddies, like the little bear and shit. So I have to watch that one again.
So I watched. I'd be really interested in what people in the comments think of Krampus. So I watched this based on yours and somebody else's recommendation, telling us it was tremendous.
Yeah.
It was all right. It didn't blow us away. It was nowhere near as horror as I was wanting.
Yeah, it's a big comedy, isn't it?
Yeah, it had some spooky characters and things, but it certainly didn't feel like a horror. Do you know what I mean?
It's a horror in the sense, it's a horror like Gremlins is a horror, I think. Like it's sort of a lump it into that kind of category. But I like
it's a shame.
I love the visual style of
it's a shame because the visuals of Krampus are fantastic, and that could be a real scary kind of, creature, but it just didn't float my boat.
Yeah. But look, cool looking figure, really great sculpt.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, if you're a Krampus fan, I think this would be a really, really cool thing to have. And then the other one, we'll be talking a little bit about this movie later on because it was a trailer for it, but this is Jack Carver from Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I like that. Like it's already kind of being lumped in with all those kind of big horror, like NECA's covering this. We might be seeing like a new horror icon kind of being born here. So I think, yeah, it looks like a cool figure. And if I come out a big fan of the movie, I might pick one of these up.
I suspect I'm going to love that movie. I have to say.
So just, yeah, we'll be talking about it in a few minutes, but like, it looks right up my alley anyway. So yeah.
A couple of people are commenting on the Krampus figures. Fuzzy, when's the anime section starting?
Absolutely. Damn it, I forgot the slides.
Absolutely not. No. Andy, I get Krampus after a night out at the pub. Yeah. Chris thinks it's Krampus. Like that.
Terrible.
Won't beat Black Christmas. I've still never seen Black Christmas. I need to get on
which
that
one?
one.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, I've not seen any of them. I
like the 2005 one a lot. Like it's just super gory.
Yeah.
Like
I'll have to check it out. I did. I think the last when you were at my house that time, we watched an episode of American Horror Stories, which had a Krampus kind of character in it who was killing a load of influencers. I love
that one. That was really fun.
That was pretty cool. Fuzzy, my missus is always moaning about having Krampus. Jesus, honestly, Andy beat you to it. Yeah. The original, Jackson. The original is the one.
The original's great.
Let's do that for one of our reviews because it's a film I haven't seen, so it would be nice to watch them.
Perfect. Oh, we'll go original. I haven't seen the original in years, so like I'd be going in fairly fresh. So we do that. We're not watching the like one from a couple of years ago because it was like I nearly walked out of it in the cinema. It was so bad. Yeah, sounds like a plan anyway. So that's everything from NECA. This is just a few things that kind of stood out to me. And then Trick or Treat Studios. Now I saw this guy on the left here, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, I'll be picking this up. So this is a 1/6 Dr. Loomis from Halloween. Now I'm in the market at the moment for a Michael Myers. So yeah, I'd throw this guy next to him.
Yeah,
I think that looks sick. Cool. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I think it's like not an amazing because Trick or Treat Studios are sort of like budget 1/6 figures. They're only in like the 100, 120 range. So like it's not gonna be like it's not gonna be super ultra realistic, but I think it looks good for what it is, and I think that'd be cool to have on the shelf. And then a couple of ones I'd really like to look of. Won't get them, I just don't have the space, but like life-sized stuff. So it's a life-sized Sam from Trick or Treat, which looks really cool. Like I think that'd be a really cute thing to have. And then a life-sized Billy the Puppet from Saw.
Yeah, I like that.
That'd be cool.
I'm getting into Saw at the moment. I've started rewatching them, so I might have to pick up a Billy at some point. I'd like a life-size one, but I'd like a one scale one to sit in your room.
Be cool. Throw them in the background behind you for these things. It would look up there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the white would really stand out in the darkness.
Yeah. Speaking of white, Andy says, "I thought Peter was ginger. He looks like a silver fox tonight." I'll take that. Silver fox. Yeah, I like that.
You look like petrified.
I like that. Yeah, petrified.
Yeah. So in terms of toys, that's kind of everything for the week. Trailers, Peter.
Trailers. Yeah. So, this is a one that's just come out the last week or two. I saw a version of it when I went to the cinema recently, but then there's a new trailer hit YouTube. I think just a couple of days ago, really. This looks great. This looks like a real old style slasher movie. I don't really understand the story yet, but it looks like there's been some kind of holiday rush at a kind of a retail outlet, and something's happened. That's what I picked up from the trailer. I don't know if you agree, James. Yeah, Someone's been killed or something. Like a Black Friday thing. Yeah. So then after that, at Thanksgiving, you just start getting this guy going mental and killing people with Thanksgiving-based implements. So there's a horrible bit with those little things you put in corn on the cob, bit with that, and then
Cobs?
there's a bit where someone's in the oven. Someone's face stuck on kind of like a freezer door.
That was the worst one for me. That was
yeah. I thought the trailer was absolutely magnificent. I thought it looked creepy. There's some great actors in it. The action looked amazing. The kills looked really, really inventive and fun. My only worry about it, and I don't know what you think, James, but my only worry about it is I felt in the last trailer I watched, I saw an awful lot of kills, and I kind of thought, oh shit, I hope that's not all of the kills. Do you know what I mean? I hope we've not seen everything that's going to be fun in this film.
So this is by Eli Roth, so director of Hostel. I'd imagine that there's kills in this that they just can't put in the trailer because they're so hardcore. No, I think I'd imagine there's like a fairly high body count in this. There's even a bit where he's walking through like a parade, so I'd imagine we might get a few. I'm sure there's some sequences that aren't kind of like you said, just like really just classic slasher movie, which we don't really get that often. Like outside of we have Scream now every year or so, the Halloween movies. Outside of that, we don't get new slasher characters. Yeah. So seeing this and seeing like the design, this looks like an icon in the making here.
Oh, absolutely.
I absolutely love the theme of it. I like themes like Santa, killer Santas and stuff like that. So like a killer kind of pilgrim character is great. Just the gimmick of it, on Thanksgiving is fantastic. And some of the kills in this trailer, like, I think the best thing about slasher movies is when you go, oh, and there's a few moments in the trailer I was like, oh, that's a rough one. So like, I think this is going to be fantastic. And even if it's bad, there'd be some good kills in it. So there'll be stuff worth pulling.
I think you're absolutely right. It's the things that do make you squirm, and it hasn't got to be, massively gory and graphic. Like I say, the cobs through the lady's ears just sent me. It was just horrendous. Be really interested in the comments if you have seen this trailer. I know a few people. I think Sean's saying there that it's a new trailer, but not original name for a horror movie. I do like the way they've got the K there. That looks tremendous. Andy, 18 people watching. Remember to stab that thumbs up. Thank you, Andy. Really do appreciate that, mate. And 18 people is amazing. Thank you so much. Chris, sounds fantastic, to be fair. Chris, if you haven't checked out the trailer, when the show's finished, obviously, go and check out the newly released trailer. It looks amazing. Oh my God, James, comic deal here. No expense paid for the spooky. Absolutely, mate. It's top level production on this channel, mate.
We're pulling out all the stops for you guys.
Pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sean is saying, seen photos today of the new Strangers reboot. Ooh, not seeing that. But it looks the same, and I'd still say that it's the scariest film I've ever watched.
I didn't know there was a reboot coming out. Yeah, I'd be interested in that. Because that first one is terrifying movie.
It's superb, yeah. Fuzzy, is it about turkeys?
That's
turkeys featuring it.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. Is I think the turkey one, Thanksgiving 3 or something. Yeah.
Does Pete look like... I'm getting so much grief tonight. Does Pete kind of look like Gary Oldman in Dracula? I'm going to take that.
He's sexy as fuck in that movie.
He is sexy as fuck. Yeah, I'm going to... Yeah. Or just old man. Thanks. Sean saying the trailer does look good. Efren, I'm eating turkey for Thanksgiving. Not watching this. Absolutely, Efren. I think you should watch it, mate. I think you'll love it. So, yeah. Afterwards, guys, please do check out the trailer to this and then drop a comment in the video and just let me know what you thought about it if you haven't seen it yet, because I'd be really interested in people's thoughts. Try and get the most recent trailer, but so you can see the kills that we're talking about.
I think this is the official trailer and the first one is the teaser. So it's been in this since 2.5, but it looks fantastic. I'm not going to watch any more stuff for it. I've seen it.
Yeah, me too.
It's out in a month anyway, so I want to go in as fresh as possible.
Yeah.
Very good. So one other trailer we have for the week, Night Swim. I had never heard of this, and the trailer came out, and I think it looks really cool. Like I like how it's vague. There's like you see a little bit of like these couple buying a house, and then it's one sequence of like two couple swimming in the pool at night. And I don't know if this is about like a monster that swims or a haunted pool.
Yeah. So I immediately got... and we'll talk about it in another show, I'm sure. There's a scene in Poltergeist where the swimming pool at the back, and you find out that basically in the original Poltergeist that the house has been built on a grave site. And that's kind of vibe I got from it. Something underneath the water kind of pulling at. And the Marco Polo bit was kind of telegraphed. Do you know what I mean? You knew there was going to be something answering back. But yeah, I just thought it was superb. I thought it was really, really cool. I really liked it.
Love a bit of Wyatt Russell as well. So he's
me too.
Up in this. So yeah, I'm excited to see him in it as well. Yeah, but I like when these kind of. That's the great thing about horror movies. So many of them just come out of nowhere. Like Talk to Me just came out of nowhere. So the tracks.
I mean that is good, James. That's a good one. I like that one. Yeah. Fuzzy hasn't seen any of these trailers. Fuzzy, check them out after the show and then comment on the video and let us know what you think, mate. Fuzzy's just got that one. Yeah, it was very good. Yeah. But yeah, I thought this looked interesting. So I'll be going to see this. And I liked the fact that it didn't give away too much. Do you know what I mean?
Again, I'm not going to watch any. This isn't out until I think January, but I'm not going to watch any more stuff for like let it come.
Yeah.
Next up, I'm on the slides. Apologies. I'm so used to you just flicking on to the next thing, you know. But there you go. So movie reviews. We're gonna go spoilery now for a couple of horror movies that have come out over the last month or so. So we'll start with the Nun II. Peter, you want to give us a little summary of the events?
Yeah, sorry. Go on, Fuzzy man. You know you want to. Okay, so the Nun II. I'm a big fan of this Conjuring universe. I think I've seen pretty much all of the Conjuring movies, and some of them are fantastic. Some are a bit ropey, but most of them are very, very cool. I've not seen the first Nun movie, but I went in to see this just because I thought the trailer looked really good. Yeah. I absolutely loved this. I have to say that I think they've made an iconic horror kind of character here in the Nun. She's so creepy and scary and just unnerving at times. It's phenomenal. I enjoyed the film. I don't think I needed to have necessarily seen the first one. I managed to pick together what was happening and all the rest of it.
Probably saving yourself some trouble. The first one's not great.
Yeah. I absolutely loved whenever she was kind of in the background or in the dark and you just saw her eyes kind of appear, or she came out at you at a shock, or she was in the brilliant scene with the magazines and things. I loved all of that. And then at the end, it all just went a bit mental. And you had kind of was it a minotaur thing or a ram thing?
A goat.
You had a goat thing running around.
Yeah.
You had a lady who died earlier, suddenly alive again. And you had a bloke who was possessed trying to kill. Do you know what? All of that bollocks you could have just left out from me and just given us more Nun. That's what I wanted. She was scary and creepy. The rest looked a bit silly.
Yeah. You hit the nail on the head there for me. Like my biggest problem. Like I think the Nun is the best monster design, horror design of the last 20 years at least. Just absolutely terrifying. I love the whole kind of gothic style of this, and the first one is not a good movie, but I really loved that kind of 1950s holy kind of setting. I think it's great. But yeah, I'd absolutely agree that there's just not enough of her in it, I feel. And I know that it's a kind of double-edged sword, because when you have too much of it, it loses the impact. But it's sort of, there's 3 or 4 sequences where you see a shadow of her or something like that, and then it's a moment and then gone. Yeah. And then in the climax, it's she's kind of pushed to the side a little bit, and then you have the possessed guy and the ghost thing, when she's the scary thing about these, so. Yeah, I think there needed to be more Nun in it. That said, I think there's one of my favorite sequences in the entire Conjuring universe, which is the magazine.
Oh, it's tremendous.
Of all the kind of pages flicking and faces, and kind of you see the outline start to come up, and then just the direction of it I thought was really good. So this is the same director as he did Conjuring 3 and La Llorona, Curse of La Llorona. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Curse of La Llorona is not good, I think. I thought it was oof. Conjuring 3 a bit better, but I think he's found his groove here, and he has that kind of James Wan style to a lot of this movie. But yeah, this sequence of just looking back and the lights flickering on and off is so tense.
There's some great jump scares, to be fair.
Absolutely. There was one, and it's not even the bit that got everyone in my screen was I think someone's coming down the stairs and she turns and she's just there, and there's no like done moment. She's just there, and like there was like it was just silence, and the people just gasped. I thought that was really
I really enjoyed the movie, I have to say, even though I have a bit moan about the end. I thought it was great. I thought the way they dispatched her was very interesting in terms of the wine and what they did with the wine and things like that. That was quite an interesting twist.
Yeah, because it was set up earlier in the movie, and I think
they
utilized that well.
Yeah. We've got a few comments. Just before we move to the comments, Efren, just take a good look at that nun. That's what's in your cupboard tonight, mate. That's in your wardrobe at home. Andy's saying, nope, not a fan of nuns. And then it goes downhill, James. So we've got sexy nuns.
Yep.
We've got sexy nuns are better than scary nuns. Yeah. Fuzzy's reviewing nun movies for us. So Nuns on the Run was good. It was actually. Was that Robbie Coltrane? I seem to remember.
Wrong person. I've never heard
Fuzzy, let us know. Was that Robbie Coltrane? I think it might have been. Sean is saying he saw Nun II. He enjoyed it. Yeah, it was good. Fuzzy, Sister Act was good. It was. Bit of Whoopi Goldberg. Nothing. Nope. Anything with a nun and I'm out.
Yeah.
She'll be disappointed to hear that reference. She's hoping for a chat later on. Andy, I want more nun. Peter, 2020. Jackson Green, bang on, James. It's up there with
Sinister. Sinister's design is terrifying as well. Yeah, they're tied, I think. Absolutely.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies, Sinister, I have to say. Yeah. James is coming in strong here. I haven't seen any of these. None of them. Well played. Naughty Nuns 2 is very good. I've definitely seen that one. Sean, climax for most horror films are a letdown, apart from Naughty Nuns 2. The climax. Yeah,
I think like your evil. It's hard because you need to kind of turn a bit more actiony towards the end, you know. So like, yeah, it's a hard thing to nail. I think really Evil Dead is one of the only kind of ones that really always has a great climax. You know, builds towards that.
Yeah, and I think if I think of some of the like the It movies, do you know what I mean? They do so well to build the kind of the scariness and all the rest of it, and then at the end, even the original, and I would argue the original, it's a giant spider, and in the remake, basically they bully him to death, don't they? It's just
they just shout names at him.
Shout names at him, and he dies. It's like
I will say I love Thaisa Farmiga in these movies, like her character, and I'd like to see her be like a monster hunter character, kind of like, even if we don't see her in another nun movie, do a spin-off of her on another case or something. I think would be great.
I'm sure I read something as well saying that she wasn't particularly well paid for this role. I don't think that necessarily did her justice, to be honest, for the impact of the character, you know. James is saying, I met a sexy nun and a stag too. Can't pronounce that. Then I found her rosary beads. Yeah. And Fuzzy saying, are you going in and out of focus, or is it just me? Might be me. Be me with the lights off. Maybe this was an experiment. We'll not have our lights off next time, probably. So overall, really enjoyed the Nun. I thought it was a good movie.
It's pretty good. Could have been. There's a lot of issues with it, but I think overall it's a fun one. If you're a horror fan, definitely recommend it. Next up we have Cobweb. Now this is one that kind of, don't give me that look. Cobweb. So this is one that kind of came out of nowhere. I think I went to like a preview screening of this. I'd seen one trailer, I think a week before. It was the first time I'd heard it existed. So it stars Anthony Starr, Homelander from The Boys, and Lizzie Kaplan, who's a fantastic actress. Now You See Me Too, I think she's in. And it's an odd one, isn't it?
It's bullshit, man. It's me and you have different views on this. I am. How can I put it? I thought the first 3 quarters were tremendous. This is exactly the same as the Nun, really. I thought the first 3 quarters were amazing. Anthony Starr is just friggin' amazing in it. He's phenomenal, you know. And it's creepy and it's weird, and it kind of leads you to this point where I thought the parents were murderers and things, and you know, and then all of a sudden we get this kind of spider creature daughter thing living in the cellar, climbing up walls and stuff. And it was all, again, it might just be my old eyes, or it might have been my film, my cinema. It was like pitch black. I couldn't see what was happening half the time. So I don't know. It was a mixed bag for me. I will rewatch it when it comes, you know, to general release, and I'll turn the brightness up so I can see it a bit better. and that might make us enjoy it more. I felt the end let it down for me a little bit.
I'm the exact opposite. I love the climax of the movie. I think the first like half to 2/3, you have this really interesting sort of like, is this a haunted situation? What's going on here? Like, because you have like, and I think again, just such a creepy piece of imagery. Like this part in the trailer really got me. I was dreading this in the movie, but the shot of the mom down the hallway with the scary eyes and it was horrendous. So like, yeah, you don't know, are like the parents being possessed? Is this like The Shining kind of situation? What's going on? But the setup of the movie is basically this kid starts hearing a girl's voice through his walls and saying that it's his sister, and the parents locked her in there. And throughout the movie, you think, this is like a ghost that's like playing with him or trying to, get him to kill the parents. And then, it turns out, and I hadn't seen this poster before the movie, that, it's like a spider lady. Like, it is his sister, isn't it? Like, that they locked in the room 20 years ago or something. But I love just how the last act of the movie, where you have the bullies, kids that bullied him earlier, like come in to get revenge, and it's like, we're a slasher movie now, like she's just gonna like murder them one by one, and she does, like, and it's so violent and just balls to the wall. Like, I just didn't see it coming at all. The tone of the movie up to that point, it didn't feel like it was gonna take that turn, and it did, and it was great. I loved it.
I mean, no, I'd enjoyed the first 3/4. Then the end, I would have been happier. That image you showed there of the mum kind of thing, I would have been happier if it was like possessed parents or mad parents, something going on. The jump to and I don't even know why she was a spider. Why was she a spider? How could her fingers and things climb walls and shit?
In the walls for so long, she learned how to climb.
Is that how that works? Is it you become a spider if you're kept in the cellar?
Have you been locked in a cellar for 20 years?
I mean, looking at us tonight, Fuzzy saying spiders, bollocks to that. It's a weird one. Jack, we had a chat about this one, didn't we? Sean saying he did like this one.
There you go. Yeah, I think
loved seeing the bullies get what they deserved.
Exactly,
that was pretty
good. Comeuppance is there's nothing better in a horror movie.
James, I hate cobwebs more than spiders. At least you can see spiders. You walk out your front door one morning and bam, cobweb in the face. Bastards. Absolutely, mate. I hate it. Jack is saying the end was dog shit. I'm with you. Fuzzy is just realizing that we watch some weird shit. We absolutely do.
We should go see every horror movie that comes out.
The
two of us. That's why we're doing this show in the first place.
Fuzzy, was she bitten by a radioactive spider? It's never explained, Fuzzy. Basically, what happens is if you sit in the dark too long, you grow longer fingers and you can climb walls. It's pretty cool.
And super strong, but you can't
super
bust
strong.
out a wall.
And super strong. Yeah, that's right. Right, I'm off in the walls. Overall, it's worth watching, but
it's divisive because like some people love it, some people hate it. So I think it's one worth giving a go and seeing what you think. But it's the last act that it will settle whether you like it or not, I think.
Absolutely,
but big thumbs up for me anyway.
It's very similar, to be honest, to what was that movie, Barbarians? Do you remember that one? Did you watch that? Where it really set it up like
that year.
I loved it. Set it up like a kind of a psychological kind of thriller kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, goes mental. But I found that more believable than this.
Is believability important? I mean, you would have found it more believable that it was a spooky ghost situation going on.
Yeah.
That's strange because the movie is grounded. There's no supernatural stuff in it at all. Like it's Okay. Fair enough. All right, main topic of the night. Peter saw X. Now, what's your kind of experience with the Saw franchise, like leading up to this? Have you seen them all? This was my first one to see in the cinemas. Is that yours as well?
Yeah, same for me. So I remember all the excitement of Saw 1 when it very first came out, and people saying it's the best film we've ever seen and stuff like that. It did nothing for me at the time in terms of wanting us to go and sit in the cinema and watch it. So I didn't watch it until a couple of years later. I love horror, as you know. That's why we've got a friggin' channel. I love horror, but I'm much more into like The Nun. I like the spooky kind of stuff. I like ghosts and I like stuff like that. What I would class as gross out horror, like Hostel and things like that.
Torture porn.
Torture porn. Yeah. I can watch it, but it doesn't always sit well with us. But anyway, I watched Saw and quite enjoyed it. Thought it was quite interesting. But then I didn't go back to it for years. And then a mate of mine had the collection or something, and he lent us all of them. So I sat and watched them all one by one. And I really, really enjoyed them. I thought they were quite interesting. I thought it was quite stomach churning, some of the kills and things like that. And then this one is the first one I've seen at the cinema. I took my wife to see it. She's a lucky woman. She's a treat her. So we went to see this at the cinema, and I really, really enjoyed it. I don't know if it's just the kills weren't as bad or I'm more used to it now. I didn't necessarily feel as an aversion to kind of look away or to cover my eyes or anything like that. Like
I had one
moment,
other ones, and I have a slide for it. But I have one moment where I really did wince. Like I was like, "Oh, that's horrendous." But yeah, you have like this picture on the screen here, like the kind of iconic one from the poster of like the eyes getting sucked out, and I think it's because it's one of the more CG heavy kills of it. Like you don't, and it's distorted because you're not really seeing the eyes properly coming out. That it wasn't like a kind of moment. And I'm really bad with eye stuff. Like there's a moment I think in the second movie where a guy has to dig out his eye to get a key behind it, and I found that horrific. I think one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in a movie is in Hostel when someone gets their eye like snipped, the like retina kind of cut off. But yeah, no, I think for some of the kills, yeah, it doesn't have that same impact. This one in particular, because it's not actually a real one. It's like it's an imaginary kind of moment. Like it makes you think that there's actually a kill going on, and it's not. Which I think you had to do because there's no traps in the first hour of this movie, like no actual traps. If anything, without any context, the first half of this movie is a drama about an old man who's finding a cure.
Yeah, it's quite. But you know what? You're absolutely right, because I was feeling sorry for the bloke, and Alona, because she's not seen any of them, she kind of nudged us at one point and said, "Has he been killing people at this point, or is he just a nice guy?"
Loads of people.
He's killing loads of people. He's a nutter.
The entire first movie of people gone and before that, like I'm sure. But like the Saw lore is so convoluted. There's so many flashbacks. Like Jigsaw died in the third movie, and he's in all of the other ones because they just flash back constantly to things that happened before this part set between. So this one's between 1 and 2. Yeah. So yeah, you have the entire first movie's happened. Like no, you wouldn't really know.
Is it between 1 and 2? Is it not after 2? Because does she not fall in the needles in 2?
But this is before that happened.
Oh, right.
That's why she. And thank you for bringing it up. So you're referring to Amanda, played by Shawnee Smith, who has the worst haircut I've ever seen in a movie.
Mean, bless her.
This is kind of the hair. She has like this kind of style hair in the second movie. Now, I think because she's like 35 or something in Saw 2, and she's like 30 in Saw 2, 45 now. I think she would have gotten away with, like, she doesn't look that much older than there. It's the hair that really puts me off, and I found really took me out of the movie. Tobin Bell always, I think, played a little bit older than he was, so he's kind of almost aged into it now, like more age appropriate. But yeah, I found that really distracting. Great character though. I really like their kind of moments. A bit odd considering if I remember right, in the third movie, she's like making traps that people can't escape. Like she's like a bit more sadistic, which I thought it's odd because she's sort of a voice of reason in this movie.
But that's why she gets bumped off, I think, in the end. It's a long time since I've seen it, but because she's not she's breaking the rules of the game.
Yeah.
So
she's supposed to be.
I mean, I thought it was really interesting. I thought some of the deaths were really the bit with the bone saw on a leg was pretty rough. That was.
Is that a real? I assume that's a real thing.
Bone saw,
like it's that sharp that you can touch it and you'll. Okay,
right. The only thing that I did find slightly funny, and you obviously, I know you've got to switch your brain off to this stuff, but there hadn't been much time between him kind of being duped and then I'm gathering the people together. I don't think that wasn't explained, and yet he'd rekitted that warehouse into kind of like a death chamber of horrors thing with all kinds of weird traps and things like that.
I mean, he's got some of this shit laying around, I'd assume. Like,
not in that country, hasn't he? He'd gone to Mexico, hadn't he, or somewhere?
That's a fair point. I don't know. Maybe he was doing it on the side while he was getting his treatment or something. That's fair enough. Did you? I hadn't watched any of the trailers coming into this. I've
seen a few.
So all I had known was that it was between 1 and 2, and that Jigsaw and Amanda were in it. So I didn't know that. I don't know if the trailers reveal that he gets like scammed. But
Yeah,
like I felt it does. That's unfortunate because I think that's a good like. Obviously, I know he's not going to get cured, but I was like, is it he? It doesn't work, and he's pissed off about that. I was like, they had set up a whole like the pharmaceutical company are after them. Does he? Is it pharmaceutical people he goes kills? But then we're meeting all these doctor characters, and I'm like, this feels like you're setting the stage for the victims of the movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what's going to happen? And I was like, maybe it's a scam. Yeah. So I thought that was really, really good, like element.
Were you surprised? I was talking to Charlie from the Killer Comics show last night about this because he loved this movie. Were you surprised he didn't dispatch the main bad guy at the end? Because she was just kind of left.
No, he gave her. That's that's how it goes. He gives them the chance. I mean, didn't she breathe in like toxic waste or something?
Yeah, but I wanted her to die. I wanted her to die a grisly death. You know
set her up for another movie, I suppose. Yeah. We'll see, but one trap in this, it has some pretty good traps, like you said, that kind of leg cut off moment. But the one that really got me was, I'm going to cut open your skull and pull out a piece of your brain. Yeah. And this is another thing about Saw traps. Like, I think if you had seen Saw movies and then you wound up in a Saw trap, you just let it kill you because you know that what's going to happen is you're gonna go through the whole shit to do the thing, and then you're going to run out of time at the last second, and the thing's going to kill you anyway. But like this is just, I think a lot of the really horrific ones, it's not even like the pain you'd be going through; it's the thought of it. So like the needles in the tub, or needles in the swimming pool in the second movie, probably one of the less painful traps there is, but it's just the thought of it, of like needles poking in you and shit. And horrible. I mean, this one, like people were like screaming, and like I think it was a really good cinema atmosphere seeing these. So I'm kind of sad I didn't see anymore.
So for anybody that hasn't seen it, basically this guy has to use a drill to cut a hole in his skull, and then remove segments of his brain and put them in a dish. And if he puts enough of his brain in a dish, it doesn't kill him.
And he's just like, he has a tweezers and he's pulling on one. And it's
that was rough. I did want to see his face after the heat thing had shut him, but do you know what I mean? I would have liked it to have opened to see what had happened to his face.
Felt like it wouldn't have killed you that fast.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh,
I'm saying that because I've done it obviously many a time.
Oh, of course.
The bit
You're the puzzle man, aren't you?
The bit that this really reminded us of, and this was horrific and nausea-inducing, but I can top it, which was I think is it in Red Dragon or Hannibal? I can't remember. It's one of the Sounds of the Lamb sequels where he's got Ray Latoya strapped to a chair. Yeah, and he's cutting bits of his brain off and sauteing it and then feeding him it. That is just horrendous.
Yeah, I suppose it's the element of doing it yourself. I think. It's like also I just couldn't.
You got no sensation there, bud. So he's not feeling anything.
That's what I mean. It's the thought of it, though. It's and like also if you hit the wrong place, you'll lose your motor skills or something. It's just tremendous. Like I think that like if I had to go through a random Saw trap and I could veto 3 of them,
just die. Just kill us. I mean, the woman who cut her own leg off. Do you know what I mean? Her head was lopped off in seconds. Just do that. Fast forward it,
isn't it? Yeah. Half the time it's a bomb on you. So like just let the bomb kill you. Like I think the guy, like the eye suck one, right? That's like one of the more tame in terms of what you have to do to yourself. Just twist the thing and break your hand, like you'd be fine. I think the radiation one was pretty. Like I think that's more physically difficult, like to break your hand like with a hammer, kind of while it's suspended in air. But you're also just getting tortured while it happens as well. So like the desperation.
Absolutely.
Like, that was a good one as well. Yeah.
Just go quickly. This movie. With some great traps, Just quickly jump to Fuzzy in the comments here. He's saying he hasn't seen the first 9 Saw movies. Worth if you like goriness, worth a watch.
I mean, you could just watch the first one and then watch this one and then go to 2 if you wanted.
Yeah. James, and I would still argue the first one's one of the best, mate. I really do. Like,
I think the first one is the best. Like, it considering how influential it was, it's so iconic.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to give it to it, but this one is up there.
Yeah, it's very good. James, I assume it's about local hardware store that deals on saws that are to die for. That's exactly it, bud. That's exactly it. Jack, that needle scene freaks him out. Yeah, it's a horrible scene. Awful.
Also, the fact that like it wasn't her trap, it was another guy's, and he fucks her in the pool, like to and the sound design of just the needles clinking. It's
oh god.
Yeah.
Sean's saying it's not scary, just horrible to watch. Yeah, I agree, mate. Yeah, it's just Is Chris Rock on this one? No, he's not. I haven't
No.
seen the Spiral show yet. I need to go and see that.
That's on 9. They count that as 9, yeah.
Yeah, I need to go and watch that. I haven't seen that yet. Comic Deal, did you see Seesaw, Fuzzy? Jesus.
My mates have been making this joke all week when I go, I'm going to see Saw. Like, oh, Seesaw. I think I did it to you as well, didn't I? I sent you like a gif of a Seesaw,
yeah. I spotted that, Andy. Yeah, it's upside down, isn't it? Let's have a quick look. I can't believe you chose to watch people chop their eyes out, but you draw the line at wrestling. Madness. Yeah. And James is right again. Home Alone was a Saw prequel. Absolutely was, mate. Absolutely was. Evening. Nice to see you join me, Martin. Hope you're well, mate. Dirty Bastards. Absolutely. Yeah, very, very cool. So what would you rate this then, James? What would you score this out of 10?
Ooh. I like that it felt like it had a cohesive plot, which I think all the other ones, like, they're so jumpy with the timeline. I think that first movie had like a really amazing twist at the end where like it was him in the middle of the floor the whole time. And every movie has tried to have a twist as clever as that. And I think this one just felt like effort was put into the story, like into the characters and the character development. And I found that really, really sold the movie well for me. So like I would say solid like 8.5. I'd probably put it. Like in the first one I'd say is a 9, so like I'd probably put the second favorite of the series.
Yeah, I think that's bang on. That's probably the same for me. The worst trap that I remember, well, there's two, is I can't remember which movies they're from, but the one where the young lad hits the button and it injects the guy with the syringes of acid into his body, and he melts from the inside. That's horrific. And the one where the guy's in the walls closing in on him, and he puts his hands and you see the bones snapping his arms and stuff.
That's the guy.
Awful.
That's the guy that's in the post-credit scene. Hoffman, I think is his name. Which I would like to have seen him throughout the movie.
Well, do you not think this is absolutely set up for a follow-on? This has got to be. I think we'll see another movie set just after this. With more.
I'd like it. You have like a few months of a span to tell a story. Like, that's the way to go, because you want to keep Tobin Bell. He's so good. Like, he's just the best thing about these movies. So absolutely,
he's tremendous.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I think that's everything for the week. Yeah, that is it. So this, guys, has been One Good Scare. Thank you everybody for tuning in and supporting us. First episode, sincerely appreciated. As we said, this is every 2 weeks. We won't be back in 2 weeks because we're at Liverpool, but we'll do like a one-off video of some kind. Or pre-record an episode to put up for Friday. So there will be something that Friday. But next Friday, you can tune into I'll Be Right Back. Our first episode of that, where we'll be talking about Friday the 13th, the original movie, appropriately because it's on Friday the 13th. So that'll be a lot of fun. So thanks again, guys, for watching. And I think, Peter, whether or not it's Halloween, everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Absolutely.